Hello guys, welcome back to S3D, and this is going to be a review of the Bandai High Grade Universal Century HGUC 144 scale Gundam Mark II, the AEUG version. So the AEUG is the anti-Earth whatever. It's you had to watch Zeta Gundam to know what's going on. It's kind of like a weird situation where these guys are just the in-between. There's the Xeon forces, there's the Titans, and then there is the anti-Earth group. Basically, they're out there to fight and this special forces of the Earth Federation called the Titans, who are doing like atrocious things. If you guys are kind of familiar with Gundam 00, I guess the AEUG could be, somewhat similar to celestial beings. So anyway, that's enough of the background story. This kit was released in 2015, made in Japan, and this is a recent reissue because it's got the blue Bandai logo. All right, so I believe this kit actually got reissued in 2022. So yeah, apparently it's still a very popular kit, despite some of its shortcomings. So let's go ahead and take a look at the instruction manual. And you can see here, there is a lot of color inaccuracies, mostly in the legs. So you have these parts right there, that's supposed to be all yellow. You can see right here it is not. So basically what you need to do is paint it if you want it to be 100% color accurate. Same with these vents. This one is pretty easy. You can just paint in that little area. Honestly, they could have given us parts color separation. Now the parts here with the side skirt, this is a little bit wonky. This is kind of very difficult thing to do. So probably not many people are going to do that. These verniers right here that need to be painted. I guess the large portion of this kit can be panelized if you like it. Now the biggest problem with this kit is not the little details that are not painted in, like the head vulcans and stuff like that. It is the backpack being the completely wrong color. As you can see here on the back here of the manual, that backpack is dark gray. This backpack here is in this color because Bandai got lazy and they just molded the backpack with the chest section and the shoulder part to save money, because they didn't want to put all that stuff on a separate runner and use a different color plastic. I think that's the cost-cutting gimmick right there, is they didn't want to use another color of polystyrene to mold the backpack. So yeah. Anyway, thrusters can be painted if you want to, and also the bazooka is the obviously all gray when it's supposed to be white and stuff like that. I mean, it's a high grade. Most of the time the bazookas are usually just two parts, and also the magazine should be a different color. Honestly, I think the best thing they could do is just mold all these parts, including the backpack, on a dark gray runner and let people paint the light gray. Because light gray should be a lot easier to paint, I think, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah. Several color inaccuracies. But overall, this is a pretty good build for something that came out in 2005. You guys can see the build videos. I think I should have a couple of them releasing in the next couple of days. But anyway, the biggest problem I have with this kit is the poly cap joint in the waist. This thing likes to come apart very easily. So my solution for that is to just glue this section to that. Once you glue it, it shouldn't be a problem. You should not have that problem of this coming apart. This poly cap is pretty much embedded into that section. So you just need to hold it together. So if you're holding this kit like this, sometimes stuff like that can happen because, it's just a little poly cap holding onto the peg. So if you're gonna be transporting this kit, I would suggest holding it like this. Otherwise, you're gonna have the whole lower section come falling off, something like that. Anyway, It's an older kit. Well, it's a modern, but it's not really that modern anymore because it still utilizes some polycaps for the joints, the shoulders, the waist section, and the feet. These are polycaps, and all the connection points on the legs and stuff are all polycaps. Same with the hips. So, yeah, some people like those old style polycaps. Some people don't because the polycap is actually more durable because it's made from polyethylene than polystyrene rubbing. Kits that have no polycaps or just polystyrene rubbing on polystyrene. Eventually, the kit will get very loose. But with a polycap, you get a little bit more lasting power because they're polystyrene. So polyethylene, yeah, polyethylene is what garbage bags are made from, or plastic bags. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. We have the shield here. We have a shield connector. We have two different style shield connector. You can have this one that lets you peg it to the back, or you can have one that pegs it to the side. And the shoulder is collapsible. Unlike the real grade, we have a ratchet system. This one is just like that. You have to take it apart in order to reposition it. And there's stickers. So yeah, these sections on the side, these are stickers, which is not too bad. I mean, you look at the foil here, it's not actually terrible. Most of it is for the camera and the eyes. I talk about the eyes during the build. So Bandai, just like most of their Gunpla, they mold the eyes in a separate clear plastic piece, and then they give us a sticker to cover the whole thing. So essentially render it completely useless. If they're gonna give us something like this, they might as well just mold the whole thing white, and then we put the sticker on, right? But they go through all the trouble of doing that, and then yeah, whatever. It's just a weird choice. But this is actually a choice. You don't have to do it. You can just do it like that. So I guess we have options, and options are always good. So, okay, we have the beam rifle here. Nothing much here, just the camera. All these have the sticker for the camera. Got a moving handle. The magazine is not removable, unlike the real grade. Only have two sets of hands, so you have to pick and choose your equipment. So let's say we're gonna put the beam rifle on here, and that's it. I'm not gonna put the bazooka. All right, we have the head Vulcans. These need to be painted, and then right here, some other areas probably. Head Vulcan can just sit on the head. Some people call these headphones, but yeah, no, these are head Vulcans because the way the Gundam Mark II is designed, the Vulcans are not integrated into the head, so that's why it has the head Vulcans separately, while the traditional RX series and the ground Gundam have the Vulcans mounted onto the head. So, or the part of the integrated into the head. So there we go. We also have these beam sabers. This is a little ugly. If you take them out, you see this ugly peg right there. Yeah, but it's a high grade, so we can't expect too much. So there you go. Got the beam saber effect that goes into the hand, and it just slides in like that. It's pretty okay. It's not, it's a high grade, so you can't really expect too much. I'm having a lot of issues with this joint. I should probably get that glued in and stuff like that. The kit is solid, but there's some areas that are a little bit loose, so that's something to be aware of. All right, so we talk about the accessories, we talk about the manual. The bazooka can actually be stored in the back skirt like so. So you take this section and then you just clip that in there like that, and you're done. Yeah, which is more color accurate, but whatever. Not much we can do about it. It's held in there very securely, so that's definitely nice. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about articulation here. The weakest part is that waist joint. So the feet here, we have a point of articulation right there. That's a polycap, and then we have the ball joint here, so that can rotate. This is pretty decent. It's got double jointed knees, so you get a little bit more than 90. We got the ball joint. We got the polycap joint for the hips. This guy can, from front skirt, I modified the front skirt, so I split it so you can have independent articulation. The back skirt is fixed, so it can't do anything like that. Back here we have that little section for the bazooka. Let's see, we got a peg hole here on the bottom here for that. Yeah, it's just, I'm having so many, yeah, this thing is getting glued. So, and then we have the ball joint polycap that's in the torso section. That gives it some articulation. You can move this down a little bit. It's really problematic because yeah, something like that really annoys me. So we do have an ab crunch right there. The shoulder is a swing up polycap, so the arm can go up like that, can swing forward, so that's a little problematic. And I don't like this design. Originally, I like it, but you know, if you rotate the arm, you can see that there's some issues of this part sticking out. This piece is supposed to be part of the shoulder armor. But yeah, you can see in some positions it doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, there's nothing we can do about that. I guess you can modify it. Basically, what you want to do to modify this, it's a very simple solution actually. You just cut this piece off and then you glue it right there. You glue this gray section on here, and that should solve the thing. I don't think it's gonna hinder articulation that much. You know, when you move it forward, it might collide with the sides. So, yeah, it's maybe a bad choice in design, but I can't think of anything to make it better. So the arm can go like that, so it's more than perpendicular. We got the bicep swivel, we got the double jointed elbow, which is very nice. Again, another color accuracy problem. This section here is supposed to be all gray, so that's definitely an issue. For people who are sticklers to color accuracy. Now the head is on a hinge right there, and it's a ball joint. So, yeah, the proportion wise, a lot of people have been telling me since I recommend the real gray over the high gray. People are saying like the proportion for the high gray is definitely better. And yes, I do agree. The proportion of the high gray Gundam Mark II is better than the real gray and even the Robot Damashi. The Robot Damashi's got some weird, wonky, skinny proportions. I think this is perfectly captures the proportion of the anime. I think the cost signature version probably looked the best. The Robot Damashi I'm talking about is the standard Robot Damashi, not the cost signature version, the Verka version. But yeah, supposedly it's designed by Kunio Okawara. So technically the Katoki version wouldn't make a lot of sense because it's Katoki. So yeah, maybe if we get a version anime figure of the Mark II with this type, similar proportions, it would be perfect. But we haven't gotten that yet. So yeah. There's many MSIA figures of this Gundam Mark II as well. So, yeah, I don't really care for MSIA, so not going to say too much about it. Overall, it looks good. It's just missing a lot of colors. So if you're a stickler for color, you either need to learn how to properly paint this kit or, I don't know, maybe save a couple $100 for the Robot Damashi version. Yeah, it's going to be expensive. I would predict it should be over at least $70 if it gets released within the next 5 years. It's just ridiculous. This thing is $25. You know, I guess you can complain or you can just deal with it, the issues. Now that's pretty much it for this review. Would I recommend this kit? Depends. If you know how to paint, if you don't care about color accuracy, I say it's okay. Right now it's priced at $25, so let's see. I'm supposed to give you guys a breakdown on the the ratings. So accessory wise, I would say 10 out of 10. It's got all the accessories. It's just missing color, but that's part of the appearance. So appearance wise, 7 out of 10 because of all the color and accuracy and stuff like that. Articulation, I give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, it works for the most part. Exactly what I would expect. The waist joint is a problem, but you can fix that with glue. And Yeah, I don't think they can do any better with the articulation. I think the articulation is okay, other than some of the issues like stuff falling apart. It's really not that bad, but it's really not amazing to get a 10 out of 10. So 8 out of 10. Overall value, since it's $25 now, is a little bit more expensive than when it came out in 2015. I think most places will have to sell it to you for over $20 to just make some money. So I will give this thing an overall 8 out of 10. It's not great because of the color inaccuracies. It got some issues. For the price point, can't get too high of a score. So that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys find the information helpful. Thanks for watching.